Hey friends, long time no see. How you doing today? Wanted to do a little sharing of some data that I was looking at recently, and also share a couple links for you. The Bank of International Settlements announced that banks can start holding reserves, 2% of their assets in crypto, starting in 2025. And so I thought, well, how much is 2%? I looked at not the assets, I looked at the cash on hand of the top five Canadian banks: CIBC, Royal Bank, Bank of Montreal, Bank of Nova Scotia, and TD. The total of their cash reserves, and you take 2% of that, would be 4.4 billion, almost 4.5 billion, 4.476 billion. CIBC's got 23 billion in cash. Royal Bank 87 billion, Bank of Montreal 100 billion, Bank of Nova Scotia 8 billion, TD has 6.8 billion. So that translates to 440 million. Take 2%, 440 million, 1.7 billion. Royal Bank, Bank of Montreal would be 2 billion. Bank of Montreal's got the most cash on hand at 100 billion, and Bank of Nova Scotia would be 160 million. Anyway, the total of 2% of the Canadian banks would be 4.476 billion if they decided to put 2% of their cash into Bitcoin. Crypto in general is the term used, but let's just say they decide to focus on. But that's only Canada. What if you took just JP Morgan, the largest bank in the US, and you look at the top 10 banks? Most of them are larger than the Canadian banks. I think the Canadian banks fall in somewhere in the middle range there. But the top one alone, JP Morgan, has 567 billion in cash on hand. You times 2%, that would be 11 billion. That means they'd be buying almost, they have 3.3 trillion in assets. JP Morgan Bank, the largest bank in the United States. And if they're allowed to put 2% starting in 2025, you do the numbers and it's astronomical if they did decide to put, even if they put 1%. But if you have all these banks, why would the banks want to have some crypto on hand? So they can transact in crypto, so they can get access to that spread and kick out all these current intermediaries, people like Coinbase or Kraken or all these, CZ Finance, all these Binance, all these companies that are on ramps and off ramps to Bitcoin are earning a spread, sometimes a front end commission, sometimes a back end commission, all kind. They got money coming in hand over fist as far as moving from fiat to Bitcoin. And so the banks are going to want to have that pie. They want that for themselves. And so starting in 2025, they're going to hold some crypto, and then they will transact in crypto. And so when you log into your online banking, currently when I log into my online banking, it says, you've got your bank account, maybe a checking account, a savings, maybe a tax-free savings account, maybe an RSP account, maybe there's a few accounts there, whatever you may have on yours. But starting in 2025, they'll say, would you like to buy some crypto? Would you like to buy some Bitcoin? And they'll offer you a spread that'll probably be more competitive than the existing on and off ramps, because those entities are, in general, I would say probably a lot smaller in terms of market capitalization and in terms of financial strength. So this is what I'm seeing as probably happening in the near future. You've got these Bitcoin conferences coming up in 2023 in May. That would probably be a lot of hype, and I think the balance of 2023 would probably be inconsequential. You've got the halving coming up. Yes, of course, 2024, that halving will have an effect, and that'll give a bump of some type, but a lot of volatility. But I think the real gains we won't see until 2025. But then once 2025 hits, you look at the number of Bitcoin being issued per month, 28,000 Bitcoin currently being issued per month. It's going to drop down to 13,000 Bitcoin around this time next year. So this time, 2024, the monthly reward will be 3.25 per block. You do the math, it's 13,000 Bitcoin being issued new per month, with all the people trying to dollar cost average. That'll be absorbed into the marketplace. So the only way that the banks will have access to Bitcoin is by competing for it, trying to buy it in the open market somehow, somewhere. And so I have a hard time seeing how we will not have a skyrocketing demand for BTC, for Bitcoin. It's going to be hard to get a hold of. If that BTC can be used and adoption is increasing, we're seeing increasing adoption in the Philippines and elsewhere. Globally, there's an increase in adoption that people are going to start to be able to use it. And it's only a matter of time before we start pricing things in Satoshis. How much for that toaster? That'll cost you 50 Satoshis. And our grandkids will say, wow, you were able to get Satoshis for free just by doing these little things. Yeah. Think about a couple of generations down the road. Something to think about. Anyway, I thought I'd share those numbers with you. Maybe I'll post them in the description down below, and you can tell me what you think. Hope you're doing great. Hope you're stacking sats, and let's look forward to the future, a future of sound money, hard money, freedom money for all that doesn't inflate away to nothing. Thank you for watching. God bless you. We'll talk to you later. Take care now. Bye-bye.